Who are your top 3 clients or customers?
Oh,
What stands out and what is the common theme?
ooh, that's a good one.
I'm asking you,
Okay.
bro.
So I have Jay Miller. I have Jay Caldwell. I know it's crazy. Jay Miller, Jay Caldwell, and Jay Houston.
3
What?
J's?
3 J's. So the comment, no. But the reality was those three.
That's like a brand on a cattle ranch, the 3 J's.
Seriously, I know it's crazy. I have a few other, but those three came to mind, and it's easy and it's funny. But they're all three are anchored on a relationship that I built, which is scary too because I'm not out there as much building new relationships. And so this particular year, everyone's going after their top three. Not my top three, not the company's top three, but their top three. So every month, we're reflecting back and saying, do you want to replace somebody in your top three? But we were trying to get them to identify. You don't need to have a ton of customers. You just need to
I've said for years, we don't need 30 customers that pay us $3,000. We need 3 customers that'll pay us $3 million.
And that's a huge mind shift because a lot of people say, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. If you're really good and intentional and authentic, you can put your eggs in a few baskets.
Yeah, so let's talk about eggs in baskets real quick. I know when we were first getting going and building our business, we were super scared that we weren't diversified enough. And if you look at our brands under the Crown companies now, we are diversified. I mean, for crying out loud, we now have an auto repair store.
Yeah.
Who would have ever thought that we'd have an auto repair store underneath the Empire brand, right? And powder coating. And you and I were just talking about how we're struggling with powder coating. So we're probably going to lose a couple $100,000 this month at our powder coating company because we're waiting for a customer to get to full steam for us. But putting all your eggs in one basket, we're putting all of our eggs in this basket of this customer because we believe in them and we believe their culture and we believe that they do believe in trusting each other and working. So we're going to ride with them. And man, it's going to be scary. But you know what? I think if we can get 2 or 3 years out of them, the ROI is going to be out the roof.
That's interesting. You just made me think about that that question real quick that Dan brought up because I'm not really fearful much. I think where fear sinks in the most is when I rely on other people. Because like what you're talking about is you're putting trust in other people, and this one.
I'll pick any one card you want.
If your company,
finish your statement.
No. But seriously, if you're not fearful, then you're not thinking big enough because you're only putting yourself. But the only time I ever get fearful is when I include more people. Things are a lot less scary when you're putting it all on your shoulders.
Yeah.
And then it's funny when you are by yourself, people feel alone. All right, if your company were a movie, which one would it be and why?
Die Hard.
Dude, is that a Christmas movie?
Because we can't decide are we a Christmas movie or an action
Which
movie?
one is it?
That's our company. Which one is it? Are we a Christmas movie or are we an action movie? You tell me. By the way, I just went off first thing that came to my mind. Die Hard. Because nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Silly goose.
That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. We when we try and show off our core values or mission or vision, we always pull movie clips because people can resonate with movie clips.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun during the winter meetings. You know, our winter meetings were so impactful. We started using clips, Simon Sinek clips, John Maxwell clips, and different clips. Maybe someday somebody will clip us and put us in there.
People process visuals so much faster than that. Yeah. You know, they say pictures are worth 1,000 words. Why don't we just send pictures instead of emails?
Yeah.
So, all right, let's do a few more. I feel like you.
What is one cultural value we need to protect as we grow?
For us, we mentioned it earlier. We're going to face adversity, and we got to make sure that we don't lose track that this is supposed to be fun. Yeah, the second we stop smiling, and I don't know who was saying it, but
Jamie said this morning.
Yeah, the shortest distance
between two people is a smile.
And smiling is an intentional act of saying, I'm going to have fun with you today. So,
by the way, it takes more muscles to smile than to frown.
Yeah. That's why babies cry, I heard, is that it takes less energy for them to cry than it is for them to giggle.
I don't think that's true. I think they're wired for survival,
Well,
and that's how they get recognized.
Well, for sure.
So, by the way,
sure.
Jordan Peterson talks about this, how we are wired for survival from the gate. That's why it's easy to be negative.
Yeah.
Because we were wired and came into the world to just survive, to breathe, to take a breath of air, for food, whatever it is. So you have to have a lot of training to change your habits. And by the way, Randy Barger said this the other day at our company. Habits, teaching and learning habits is a lot harder than learning the phrases and reading the books and all that. To actually to model the habit is way more difficult. So our word advice for all of our new people is, we need to get you believing in who we are and what we're doing as fast as possible. From day one, we want the best experience from day one. And then in 60 days, we want you to get your new boots and have a better experience. And then in another 120 days, we want to make sure that we have you on the right track and you're in the right spot and the right seat on the right bus and the right going. And my team has done a way better job. I was a John Wayne, throw you in to teach you how to swim guy. My team has taught me better. And by the way, that's, I think, an important leadership quality, is to step back, let your team teach you once in a while.
I agree.
You can't use my trick, silly goose. Okay, here we go. Is your business at a campsite or on a hike? Are we maintaining and improving, or are we scaling? Which one are you doing?
Oh, this is great, man. So we were at a campsite, and we hung out there too long. So we're actually climbing, but we're going to, everyone's going on a personal climb of personal growth.
Tell the story about what John Maxwell said about in Sweden, the halfway house.
Yeah. So John and I were talking, and he was this mountain in Sweden. They go up in a full day, but you stop at a halfway house, and like 80% of the people.
Well, the halfway house is really nice.
Yeah, it's warm and you can have
fire,
drinks, and there's a window that you can actually see people summiting. And the temptation is there, and so most people don't actually leave.
The temptation to not go on, right?
Yeah, because they can see a result and they say it's good enough. And the problem is when people come back down.
Is that so bad?
Depends what your direction and vision is. For me, it is bad. But for some people, that's maybe all they want. But maybe they haven't felt what being stretched looks like. But we're climbing right now. But before we climb to a goal, we're going to grow into our goals. So we need to get some people going. And so our next campsite won't be here for about 3 or 4 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's going to be a heavy lift. They're going to be tired. They're going to be really tired.
Our next campsite is in probably 2 years.
Yeah,
that's our next big milestone. We're going to be halfway to our BHAG, our big, hairy, audacious goal.
But we have no other choice. Running out of food at our campsite, we're going to have to go hunt it. And so,
good analogy.
Yeah, so we are out of food, and we're going to go hunt it, and we might go hungry a few days. Actually, we talked about that. We're out of money. We've spent all of our money waiting, and now we got to go do something with it. And so we're swinging really hard this year. So
for you.
All right, one last one.
All right.
Not the gray ones, because those are instruction cards.
What decision still needs to be made in the next 30 days, and why is it important?
Oh, you got to answer that one. I answered the campsite
one. Then read it to me. Pretend like I don't know. Here, watch this. This is how we do it. Okay, pick a card.
Oh,
okay.
I like this one. What decision still needs to be made in the next 30 days? Why is it important? Something you have not decided on yet. But that critical part is, why is it important?
Man, I got to tell you, our winter planning, we did such a good job. I'd have to really think about this because we really have gotten good at aligning our goals and aligning everybody and making sure that the boat is headed the right way. If there was a decision that we were going to make, I would have to say, do we have the right people in the right seat in that second and third level of leadership, right? I'm confident that our first level of leadership is really good, and most that are in that second one is really good. But I just can't see that third layer that it's very clear. And I do believe that where we're at in our company, so I'm gonna give you guys a little. I'm gonna give you a little cheat code. I don't have this narrowed down, but I think in order to get to 10 million, you need 5 really key people driving the boat. So when you're at 2 million, I think you can do it with 3. So 3 is a great number up to about that 7 million. But to go from 7 to 10, I think you need 5 people ramming leadership, just taking it and run almost equals. And when you get past that 10 million mark to get to that 20 million mark, I think you need to get to that 8-9 number. And then to go from 20 million to 100 million, I think you need 12. Now, I don't have all this figured out. I've been trying to just figure out, looking back at our journey, where we struggled, where we won. And I remember my friend Mark Olson came to me in 2021, and he said, Matt, you are leading where you have been and where you are instead of where you're going, which is what Wayne Gretzky says. He always says he shot the puck where his teammate was going, not where he was at. So that's when I implemented my officer team, and I'm telling you, we just went fast to our immediate goal. And we hit our numbers. Now I'm starting to recognize it takes so many leaders to lead so many people.
First off, everyone's listening who's not in construction. When Matt mentions $2 million, that's based off of the large cost of goods sold, heavy labor. Because if you're in a like a marketing firm or something like that, you might only make it to $1 million and need 3 or 4.
A flower shop might only make it to 250,000.
Yeah, but I hear it all the time. People say,
I apologize. I am talking about construction where we're selling materials.
Most people say, well, I can't afford leadership. I said, well, they should be able to afford themselves. If you hire the right person, you don't need to focus on the how, you need to focus on the who. That's a really good book. Have you heard Who Not How?
Yep.
Love the book.
Yeah, great book.
Cool. Yeah, so check this out.
Tell me.
It actually I just posted one of my favorite quotes and get some comments on it. It said, "Good is the enemy of great." Yeah. And somebody said, "Never settle for good."
Jim Collins.
Yeah, but so check this out. I'm in firm belief that you need to understand what needs to be great and what can be good, because you can't be great at all things. There's just no way.
Why not?
What you focus on is what you expand on. So like there's certain things. Know your strengths, know your weaknesses, right? So
I've said for years. Let me just tell you. So I've said for years, I don't want to hold the irons.
Sure.
I want to stoke the fire.
Yeah. I'm
not the detail guy. That's Max, Jamie, Colleen. I mean, that's our leaders. Craig. I mean, those guys are getting in the weeds. They're the ones focusing. They're the ones holding that iron to make the brand hot.
But on the things that align with your strategy. So, for example, we want to be great at speed. We want to be extremely fast, getting you on schedule. We want to be great at the whole experience. We're okay just being good at quality. We're not going to cut a corner or anything like that. That's one example. Another one I think of is like, we're just good at irrigation and landscape, but we're a turnkey solution. So if you want us to just be good and be able to do that and our outdoor construction, then we'll do it. But we're not great at it because we don't focus on it. Will we do a great job? Absolutely. But do we know that there's more potential? 100%. It's just not where our focus is.
So let's talk about the landscaping and the irrigation. So who's one of your number one competitors in irrigation? Give me a name.
Geez, man, it's been a minute. MLB. Yeah, MLB.
So let's just say that all of a sudden one day you woke up and you're like, you know what? I'm going to call MLB and see what his exit strategy is. I'm hoping that's a human. You call him up. You're like, hey, MLB, what up, dog? Right? And you're like, hey, what's your exit strategy?
Is that Dakota calling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not Robert.
That was Dakota, you
Yeah.
silly goose. But you figure out that, hey, he's burned out and he wants out. And you're like, you know what? My focus on irrigation would change dramatically if I had that person holding my iron for. So you're right. You're right. I think you're right. You can't. I love the comment. You can't be great at all things.
So,
but I also
Maxwell
want to
says
challenge
that.
you to say one of the reasons why we're having success with 7 different brands is that I've just learned I've got to have one person that focuses on that. By the way, I can't hardly focus on this freaking podcast right now. I'm looking at that truck wondering why it's been here so long and why I haven't seen anybody going out and why they're not getting unloaded. I'm wondering if I should go get another cup of coffee. Plus, I'm trying to process what you're saying. I can't focus very well.
So if you choose to be good at something because you're focusing on greatness, you need to be able to delegate whatever you're good at. And we talk about this with the $10 an hour task. If you're only treating a task like a $10 an hour task, give it to somebody else that can expand it to a $1,000 an hour task. So I don't think you need to be, the amount of pressure to be great at all things is unrealistic. You can strive for your company to be great at all things, but you need to have more people. And so when people are like, oh man, it was just easier when I had less people. Use your being good at a few things. I like Magnolia is extremely great at a lot of things because we have Dakota and Christine and Matt and Michael and Jordan and all that. So I don't want anybody to put the pressure to be great at all things. Now, don't cut corners and be half-assed either.
No, I agree with you. But I do believe that a company can be great at multiple things if you have key people that focus on those areas.
Yeah.
If you look at our sports construction, it was our main focus for the longest time, and it's where we are probably the most profitable and the best. Mm-hmm. And the young man that we have in there running it now loves what he's doing, and he wants to grow it and keep expanding it. So you're right. So by the way, I was messing with you a little bit in the fact that I agree with you. Yeah. But I also think that sometimes we intend to think, well, I can't do that over there because I need to focus right here. No, you can, but then you got to have somebody else that's willing to go focus on that over there and make that their main priority so they can be great.
And there's trade-offs. So like you guys I don't want to say outgrew, but y'all continue to focus on where y'all are going, and you no longer do residential construction anymore.
Yeah, we let it go
because you weren't great at it, and you don't want to have a brand that's just good. And so at some point, you have to let go.
That's a great analogy. We totally let that thing go. Now we give all of our My Salesman leads to our friends in the industry.
Yeah.
And by the way, when a $75,000 residential job comes through, we cherry pick that one and we go do that one because we can be good at that one. We can be great at that one. But it's such a nice cheat code. My Salesman is a cheat code.
Talking about ethics,
was that bad? Was that unethical?
I've seen some owners when the big jobs come in, they'll hold on to that and they'll disperse all the smaller jobs.
Oh, that's so mean.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Oh, I don't
do that.
Yeah. No, my salesman, actually, it's interesting. We had a huge job just come in this morning, and everyone's all over it right now because my salesman was available while we were all sleeping.
Well, and you got to be able to see the job before you actually went and looked at the job, that the customer drew it out and you have an idea of what you're going into.
So perfect plug on good and great. There are a lot of imitation softwares out there, and they're good, but they're not great. You guys have spent so much time perfecting it. So
by the way, we screwed that up, Robert. Early on, we tried to become an estimating tool and a pre-qualifier. Yeah. And then once we dropped that estimating tool and threw that away and just stayed in the lane of pre-qualified, and I love it because everybody's like, oh, you know what you guys should do? You know what you guys should do? And I love it.
Yeah.
But I also know better.
Yeah.
No, we need to stay in the pre-qualifying lane with that software because that's where we're the best at.
And so the difference between good and great. And,
well said.
And so I think it's important to know, but no, you shouldn't give up too early either. You should put some energy towards good. And if the friction's there, move on.
Right.
I like my salesman.
I do too.